Warning, this video game contains coarse language like no other. As a result, the video too contains coarse language, but is solely for review purposes. Okay, I have good news and bad news for you guys. The good news is, I got my first video game donation from someone else. The bad news, you might notice from the title, it's this. You know, of all video games you could have donated, it had to be this, right? Oh well, I guess it'd be a good change of pace trying to tackle a bad game for once. I've seen videos of this game and how much it gets ripped on, with the addition of being critically panned. But does it deserve it? I'm going to put all these things aside and find out myself. I was going in with the mindset that this was going to be one of the most unintentionally hilarious games ever made. Playing it at first, it wasn't as bad as I anticipated, but the longer I played it, the more I understood why people think it's horrible. Initially developed by Zombie Studios, this was originally meant to be released in 2007 as a first-person shooter set in the present time. Bethesda didn't like the direction the game was going in. They scrapped it, started again, put the project in Rebellion's hands, and eventually released it in 2009 when the Call of Duty franchise was at the height of its popularity. Rebellion developments don't exactly have the best of gaming projects on their resume. What they mostly develop is downgraded ports of decent games. But who would have thought they'd sink so low they'd freeze before they drown? The biography Rogue Warrior is written by former US naval officer Richard Marcinko, illustrating his life on struggling to gain positive acceptance for his services in the Vietnam War, the 1980 Iran hostage rescue attempt, and the US invasion of Grenada, as well as being involved in the founding of 2 naval anti-terrorist groups. So if this game is based off the biography, why the hell does the game's plot have absolutely nothing to do with it? Dick Marcinko, voiced by Academy Award nominee Mickey Rourke, and 2 other Ally soldiers sneak in to disrupt missiles in North Korea and Soviet Union during the Cold War. After his partners were killed by a grenade explosion at the beginning, Marcinko is alone and goes to stop the threats. Single-handedly. There's no question that the real Dick Marcinko would be insulted by this game. I mean, I would if I was him, would you? Just imagine a video game writer turning your biography on your life as a US naval officer and making up another story that has nothing to do with the actual biography. Maybe it was based off one of Marcinko's fictional books. If so, then why is it called Rogue Warrior? Good or bad plot, it doesn't matter anyway, because Mr. Tourette's here overshadows it with his mouth made of garbage. To give you an idea of just how brutal the profanity is in this game, even the difficulty setting already sets things on the wrong foot. If you're a pussy, pick this one. Bring it on, motherfuckers. Think you're fucking special, huh? What's wrong with easy, normal, hard? Even Martin Scorsese would be scratching his head over that. While we're on the subject of difficulty, it doesn't matter which one you choose, because even the think you're fucking special hard difficulty is a walk in the park. I legitimately believe that if you try hard enough, you can beat this game without firing a shot. Now you know how there's internet pages where you can find out how many times the F word is said in a movie? I decided to do this with Rogue Warrior, including when he got killed and started again, and the cutscenes, and the text, and the credits. I heard a grand total of 158 F nukes. Rounding up the total gameplay time, which we'll get to later, that's an average of 1.15 F words a minute. So basically you're going to be hearing the F word at least once a minute. F word count may vary depending on how long it takes to beat the game, but you get the idea that the levels of cursing in this game are unspeakable. Now I'll admit, swearing does more than make a video game or movie inappropriate, but it tells the audience that the actor or character means business and sounds tough. I mean, take Samuel L. Jackson for example, but when it's overused like this, they just come across as a total jackass. For crying out loud, his nickname is a swear word. Now that I've got all the obvious things out of the way, let's dig into the real reason why this game sucks. The gameplay. Because it's obviously bad, it's hard to explain. It just feels like a boring, generic Call of Duty ripoff with nothing new added to the table, which is being really kind. Has nearly the same control layout if you have the console version, but they replaced the jump button with a knife attack known as the kill move. Creative. To be fair, these kill moves are actually very brutal. I can imagine the developers spending most of their time on this. Look, he's getting shot at and he's still able to perform these vicious kills. Oh, never mind. Got all three of them with a knife. Seriously, the AI is completely deaf. They probably can't hear themselves suffer. This is what I allude to when you want to beat the game without firing a bullet. Now, am I going around in circles, or are the level designs used more than once? Evident in the last levels, I can tell you that much. And what kind of army base has a stupid layout like this? Are you kidding me? Look! The auto-targeting doesn't auto-target. The aim is ultra-sensitive. See, I can't get him. Think you can change the sensitivity? Did you really think so? And the slowed frame rate in the snow is excruciating, as if Marcinko is literally suffering from a severe brain freeze. Look at this. Bethesda published this game and they can't even get the rights to the AK-47 name. Yes, there's a gun called the AK-74, but this isn't it. Either that or it's a typo. Wouldn't surprise me if it's the latter. And the music. Good lord, there's probably only 2 or 3 different songs that just keep looping. Every single enemy in this game is glitched, and that's not an exaggeration. How did that not kill him? These bullets don't kill soldiers. They just give them seizures. And it's not just the enemies, but watch this. Look at that. Did you see that? Marcinko must have put the wrong roll of ammo into the gun. And to tip it all off, the game crashed 4 times. Why doesn't that surprise me? That's actually impressive because it only takes 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 3 seconds to beat on the think you're fucking special hard difficulty. And it's not like I was speedrunning. That's an average of 34 minutes. A game crashing every half an hour. Could you imagine if Grand Theft Auto 5 crashed the same rate as Rogue Warrior did when I played it? The backlash would be apocalyptic. Also, the game came out in 2009 with retail prices of $80 to $90, so you're theoretically paying about $40 an hour. Now, in all seriousness, it should be illegal for game developers to release games that short today, let alone for prices up to $80. I mean, what were they thinking with this game? There really isn't anything positive to say at all! Okay, I guess a lot of the criticisms can also be positive points too. For example, Mickey's cursing is hysterical and it never gets boring, especially when he gets killed.
Don't these motherfuckers have something to do? Oh, fuck. Motherfucking bit. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna cut you like a fish. God damn, Jesus. Fuck. Jesus Christ, God. Fuck. Motherfucker. God damn, Jesus. You asshole. Body, motherfuckers. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I'm gonna gut you like... Shit, power's back on.
It's one of the few games where it doesn't anger me at all when the player is killed. Also, the glitches do make for some really memorable moments.
Knock, knock. Damn, Jesus fucking Christ.
I will not deny, I had fun playing this game. But it's only just because of its downsides, not upsides. But then what upsides does it have? I get the point. I've seen enough to give it a rating, and it's a 2.5 out of 10. It still doesn't get over the fact that it's simply terrible. The fact that it's entertaining saved it from getting an even lower rating than that. Kinda like Plan 9 of Outer Space. So bad it's kinda good. And yes, I've actually seen it. Don't waste money and time buying this game. I know I said that it was fun, but you can get the same fun out of watching videos of people making fun of this game. The only reason I have it is because it was donated to me. This really could have been a good game, as is the case with pretty much every single game, if they actually took a look at what's bad about it, which I already just did for them, and fixed it! And that's the beauty of all bad games. It's easier to point out everything they could have improved on so it wouldn't be so bad. If they'd simply fix the glitches, reduce the profanity,
Suck my balls, my hairy fucking big balls, wrap them around your fucking mouth.
enhance the graphics, added originality into the gameplay, actually based it off the novel to a T, and above it all, made it longer, it would be a different story. You'd think Bethesda would try to make sure Rebellion would do this? Or you'd think Bethesda published this game as a rare prank on the gamers into thinking that it was going to be something decent. If so, they didn't do a very good job of either. I would rather this game be intentionally good than unintentionally hilarious.
I'm sorry. Not as sorry as those motherfuckers. Party, come on. I got places to go and people to meet. Assholes are everywhere. Fuckers are out in force. Hi-ho, hi-ho. This fucker's gonna blow. Anytime, anywhere, any place. Kicking ass, taking names. Who's the hardest motherfuckers around, huh?